Everybody fill up. We got another show for you all right, Big Game James, go ahead, man. Let them know who you are, man.
What's going on, y'all? It's Big Game James. Let me turn my stuff down. It's all loud. Let me turn my stuff down. Big Game James here with the Cowboys Experience. Hey, before we jump into anything, let's talk about your experience because I got to kick it with Cheeto, got to have the good interview, but you had a good old time over with that Cowboys Experience. Tell them about it right quick, Law.
Man, it wasn't a good time at all. It was a great time. I had a wonderful experience with Joe Looney, Jesse Holly, who caught the touchdown. Well, it wasn't a touchdown pass, but he almost close, but no cigar. But it was a great catch by him from Tony Romo, and he was able to give me his life experience of that. And then on top of that, Ed Too Tall, man, we had to change the camera lenses and everything to get him all in frame. And also, I got a chance to meet up with Kayvon Frazier, who we may have an opportunity to bring on to the show as well to give us his intellect and his thoughts and things like that as it relates to football acumen. So it was a great time. Everybody, I must say this. In order for you all to experience and have the exact same emotions and feelings that I had, all you got to do is simple. Just tell them where to go, Big Game.
Cowboys Experience. I mean, I got to experience it already last year. We got to experience a couple weeks with the Miami game, kick it with Cheeto, kick it with Michael Gallup. Jeff Heath was there. Great time, great atmosphere. And then, as you said before, you got Kayvon Frazier, Ed Too Tall Jones was up in there. Right. Jesse Holly, Joe Looney. You was over there kicking it with the big party over there. Had the big party. But that's what we do at the Cowboys Experience. I had a couple people that I got to meet, and there was their birthdays the next day where they were going to the games. And guess what? Barry Griffin made that exclusively for them, made it happen for them. And they said it was second to none. So please, if you're still trying to find out about this Cowboys Experience, there's plenty of games left, big games left. You got the Philly game that's going to be huge. You got the Minnesota game that's going to be huge, and you still got there's one, the Rams. That's going to be gigantic. So please, if you're still trying to go to these games, holler at us, talk to us, Silver Blue Nation, Big Game James, Law Nation. You can get into the Cowboys Experience inbox on their Facebook page, or you can go to the website and find out more information. So please, if you want to find out about these great packages, talk to Barry Griffith, and you will know. Yes, so let's jump on in this daggone game, dog.
I got to give a quick recap for what happened last night as well.
Go ahead.
Hanging around with Barry, man, he puts you in certain situations where you got to look back and say to yourself, what a blessing. Last night we was out there with Travis Frederick event, Block Out for Hunger. Well, they called it Steak Out for Hunger because he had steaks and everything that he gave out to the people that attended. And it was a wonderful experience as well. And that's where we got a chance to meet up with Corey Proctor and some other Cowboys players, and Blake Jarwin. I got a chance to meet up with him, so hopefully we will bring him on aboard. But it's all through the power of Cowboys Experience, as well as you all that's watching today, like the Davids and the Mandys. I see y'all down there in the chat box. Michael, I really appreciate you. Jay Outlaw, that's a cold name.
Jay Outlaw, I love that name. Jay Outlaw, like with Gambino. Gambino, Jay Outlaw. That's just hard. Every time I see that name, I just want to recognize you.
Yes, that might change my name to Outlaw Nation.
Outlaw Perez, too.
yes, but it's all through the power of the fans. And what I'm thinking, Big Game James, is that this thing can grow so much that everybody love ESPN, NFL Network, Cowboys.com, but I think that we bring in a different type of flavor that is unmatched, unseen, and unfilled and untouched that nobody can really identify with and say, man, these guys are real, raw, and authentic. Not throwing shade at those other networks. But I just think that we bring in a different type of flavor.
I feel you. And you know what? We tell the real. I mean, and honestly, and like you said, no shade to any of those networks out there that are doing the thing, talking about the Cowboys. But a lot of these guys, they don't really just study on the Cowboys all week. They get a piece of paper from the people, they get all the information, and they just spit out some good stats. That sounds all good, like they've been studying the Cowboys. They ain't watching all 22. They ain't watching film.
Right.
They're watching D film. Now, Brian Balding, I give him his because that's what he does. He does a lot of film study. But for as a whole, a lot of those guys don't do that. And we go hard over here. We do film study. We check. As soon as the game is over, we're looking at all 22. We're looking at the ins and outs of who did what. Give you a better gist of if you're not seeing it as a normal fan because you're just working and you're this. We're opening the door for you to be able to see things. So if you say, "Oh man, Dak sucked. Well, you know what? We can make that all 22 film and show you where he didn't. So
Right.
try to give you a better perspective of what these players are looking like on a daily basis and give you the strengths and weaknesses, and you want to listen to it. So please help this nation grow. Law
Let
Nation,
it grow.
Blow Nation, Cowboys Experience. We're trying to give you the best all the time. So please continue like and support what we do, because it's only you that makes us what we are. You feel me?
Indeed. Yes, indeed. So, hey, go ahead, man. I know you're going to recap the game. I tried as much as I'm like this old preacher, just trying to squeeze it out. I'm trying to talk about everything but this past game. But go ahead. Let's go.
I'm gonna keep it real, Law. Yeah. I'm still in the daze. I'm in a daze. Like I'm not even in reality right now. Like for real. Like seriously, today I am still in a daze because it's unbelievable. Like when we lost to that Saints game, you know, we talked and we had a show. I was frustrated and upset because I was like, man, that's one we just kind of gave away.
Right.
This one right here.
This one
right here. Did we just give it away? Like, here, I'll go ahead and have it. You know what I'm saying? We came out flat once again. I mean, it's like it was so eerie of 2016. It was eerie. Yeah. 2016 when they were jumping up, scoring 7. I was like, "Oh my God, is this 2016?" That was my first thought when Amari hit the ball off his hands, the interception. My first thought was 2016. And I didn't even want to think about that. My first thought was 2016.
See, your first thought 2016. Mine was 8 years before 2016. I'm thinking of 2008. I'm sitting there like, man, is this 2008 all of a sudden again?
Man,
but go ahead.
You know it just was just a frustrating thing because, you know, as I said, I give all props to Green Bay. They had a great game plan. They did. They had a great game plan. They schemed us correctly. They schemed our defense, and we're going to definitely talk about that. But in my opinion, Dak had a career day, and everybody's going to say, well, we threw 44 times, and you didn't have to do all this. We barely ran Ezekiel Elliott. I get that. I understand that. But people were criticizing Kellen Moore for not opening up that offense, and the guys were getting open. Okay, Ezekiel Elliott had running lanes. Tony Pollard had running lanes. Dak was throwing the ball. Yes, the pass protection was a little uneven because we know what Cam Fleming is. Okay, we know what he is. La'el Collins went out, but he was struggling. Brandon Knight jumped in and played good. But it was just the fact we shot ourselves in the foot once again. Law 3 interceptions by Dak. A couple were questionable. We've seen the pass interference by Kevin King, the non-pass interference by Kevin King. Nobody's crying about it, but it was obvious. You slap boxing the dude after 5 yards. That's a penalty. But then Jeff Heathberry touched Jimmy Graham. He trips and falls. Then you call penalty. You got to be consistent in this game, rest. But you see what I'm saying? It was just a lot of just mistakes that the problem is when we make these mistakes, it seems like we can't come back from them. And that's just the discerning thing that I have a problem with.
Yes, indeed. Great teams comes back from those type of errors. They outperform the officials. And it's every week we got to outperform the officials in our opposition. Now, good teams look like what we did. We come back and we don't win, you see. And bad teams, it just goes all the way to the wayside. And you look like the Washington Redskins, for crying out loud, which is 0-5, you see. But we are a good team right now. Now, is it all over with? No, we still have hope and aspirations and adulations and love for this team. I'm hearing and I'm reading a lot of comments, and this is what we do. You guys put the pulse out there, and we read your comments, and we try to give you guys some at ease on it, right? So I'm seeing a lot of people saying Jason Garrett must go. And here's my thoughts of everything. And it's hard to talk bad or negative upon a coach that really only had, one losing season?
1 losing season, 3 NFC East titles.
Right.
I mean.
Right. Just go off on all of his
winning record.
Yeah. And then he's a polished guy. He's not like Jay Gruden is out there smoking you know what on the side of the streets, you see.
Right.
So he's not going to give you that type of flavor. But in return, what you get from him is this, hey, whoa, wait a minute. This is coaching mistake you should have like year 1 or year 2, you know.
Right.
Hey, wait a minute. This is going on year 9, coach. This is going on to year 10. What is going on? Are we out scheming the opposition? I made a challenge to anyone. I made a challenge to everyone, I meant to say. Find me 5 games that Jason Garrett, that you really came from that game and said, you know what? Boy.
Jason, I'll coach that team.
Ooh. He out schemed him. He outperformed as it relates to mental capacity, not just off of the physical arm or what Tony Romo was able to do, or not off the rookie phenom who Ezekiel Elliott was running through the whole entire league, and they didn't have enough tape on Dak Prescott. I'm talking about if you can just really go into the guts of things and say to yourself, man, this Jason Garrett, ooh, I can't wait to see this. Let me know, and I will try to go back and research those games, and I will repost those things, and I will try to recover and try to give some ground to it. But I don't think I found a soul that can give me 5 games.
And here's the thing, Law. We're not trying to even bash Jason Garrett.
No, we're not.
Like, I'm not even trying to put this loss at Jason Garrett's feet because, I mean, he was getting irate. I mean, there was calls against him. He was in the game as far as that. Nobody's trying to say that. But my thing has been, it's just been like, you know what? This is year 9, year 10.
Right.
And I've seen this in year 5.
Right.
I've seen these same things happen in year 4. I've seen these same things happen in year 6. And that's just the only thing I'm saying. It's patterns and trends with Jason Garrett type teams. And it's almost like, when is it going to change? Because how many times have we had the ups and the downs of, you know what, we're playing terrible, then we battle back, and then we kill ourselves with a penalty. Come on. How many times have we seen that with our Cowboys teams? And like I said, is just not the truth? How many times have we got a big gain and we're coming back in the game and we're like, touchdown,
right?
holding, number blah blah blah.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And and I understand that Jason Garrett is not on the field doing the holding calls. Jason Garrett is not on the field throwing interceptions. Jason Garrett is not getting blown up on the line of scrimmage. But after a certain amount of time, when you still see the continuous thing, same time after time, year in and year out, you ask yourself, well, what is it then?
What is it? You
kind of put the finger on it, because what is it? Because these same things keep happening with his teams. And it's like, are you really going to get over the hump? And that's just the question I continue to ask myself when I still see these same things happening to Jason Garrett-led teams after 9-10 years.
9-10 years. And then we look at the people that falls on the swords of things. You know, you can say that Wade Phillips, he was not the head coach, but they was getting paid the same amount of money. But since Wade Phillips left, I physically saw with my natural eyes that this guy was somewhere appearing in 3 Super Bowls since he was let go of. You know what I mean? And although he only won one of them as a coordinator, what have you, but he appeared in 3 of them, you see. And now I'm looking at Flus, what he's doing out there at Colts land. I know he's not the head coach, right?
No, he's not the head coach. But he's a coordinator, but he's go over there and making moves. They just beat the Chiefs and they just shut them down. You know what I'm saying?
Brilliancy. And then we could talk a little bit about that. Let's just go ahead and talk
Let's
about
just jump in. Let's just, all right, since you already opened up the can of worms, with Eberflus, because I posted on my page. Now,
go ahead.
We always talk about with Garrett, blah, blah, but it seems like Chris Richard been bulletproof, and Marinelli, ain't nobody been talking, because the defense hasn't been playing bad. You just had a really good game against the Saints. Right. But here's the thing. Why do we play these good teams and they continue to out-scheme us on defense? Wow. They continue to attack us at the middle. So it's not just the players, it's the scheme. We're still playing this old Tampa 2. And when you talked about Eberflus, when he was talking about coming up for the position, he said, this is what he said. I don't want to step on Rob Marinelli's toes, so I'm going to kind of do my thing. Basically what he said was, I'm not going to have full control of this defense, so I'm going to go to the Colts where I have full command, full control, and I can coach this defense how I want. And at the end of the day, Marinelli still got his hands all in that defense, and it's old, and people figured it out. Aaron Rodgers said, when I come there, they got great fast linebackers, but that scheme's kind of basic. Oh, wow. It's kind of, Aaron Rodgers said the scheme was basic on air.
Yeah.
It's basic. And any other teams that come and play us, do you really think that when teams come and play us, they're super scared? They know we got the talent. Yeah. They know we got the talent. But do you think they're super scared of our schemes?
No way. Here's the thing. I love Papa Rob Marinelli. He's very brilliant at what he does out there for the coaching philosophy and things like that. But sometimes when you are playing a cover 2 defense, you can go to anybody's middle school football team or I'm telling you,
and
high school football, that would be the base defense, 4-3 defense as it relates to cover 2. That's what you're going to practice and play out of, and that's what you're going to be accustomed to seeing. So that's why you see at times smaller, diminutive type of quarterbacks still gash us with out passes, underneath passes. It's very comfortable because what we try to do in this particular defense is rely on the front four to create pressure and everybody out there fly and chase to the ball. Now, we do have excellent linebackers. I'm telling you, if you look at the scouting report of Jalen Smith and LVE, you will see that they have issues and troubles with disconnections or redirect or what have you, or keeping their pad levels clean or what have you as it relates to the the offensive lineman getting to the second level. How these linebackers can benefit if you have that nasty plug that's in the middle. But the philosophy is not that, because the Dallas Cowboys defensive front four rely on quickness, first step, and then they're not relying on that trash can full of dirt type of guy.
Yeah, we don't never get the 330. We don't never get the 335 guy. We don't never get the 340 guy. We don't get the Vita Veas. We don't get them type of guys, the guys that we need that can take that double team and free up your linebackers, because just as you said, Law, that guy's not able to take that double team because we don't have the size in there. And then guess what? Those guys are getting to the second level, and what are they doing? They're peeling Jalen Smith. They're peeling LVE. Those gaps are open. Then now you have your safeties and corners having, you see a Cheeto or you see a Woods getting 9-10 tackles. You're like, man, they played a good game. No, it was they were getting to the second level, and they were making all these tackles after the line of scrimmage, and that has been the issue. I don't think Covington has played bad, but once again, teams are scheming us. They see a Malik Collins in the game. Guess what? Malik Collins is not a run stuffer. When you saw us in 2017 on our defense, they were attacking us then, and they were going after Malik Collins because he's never been, even when he was at Nebraska, he was never a run defender. So guess what? If you look at some of the tape, and we looked at the tape, there was a couple players where Malik Collins tried to avoid the go around the offensive lineman, and it's opening the door for guys and our linebackers to get peeled because he's not a run defender.
Yeah,
I'm not a big Tyrone Crawford fan, but put him at the 3 tech and start Covington at the 1, or when Woods comes back, put both of those guys in as run defenders, because we're getting gas right there in the middle because teams know what to do against us. They see our lineups. They see if we don't keep gap integrity, we can beat these guys. We can hit these gaps. We can gas these guys in the middle. We can hit these guys on the edges, and that's what they're doing. And also, Law, I think – when we played them Saints, we were going against Kamara. We were going against what's your boy's name, the receiver? Michael Thomas. They were getting up for those guys. Now you playing Aaron Rodgers, you're like, yeah, we're scared of Aaron Rodgers, but we ain't scared of Aaron Jones.
Right.
Or you ain't got Devontae Adams, because you saw an uncharacteristic game of LVE missing all these tackles, getting shook up. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe they're smelling themselves because, we stopped the Saints last week. We're going to come in and stop these guys. And guess what? Aaron Rodgers don't need a Devontae Adams because he's an all-world quarterback. And guess what? If they scheme you correctly, they can beat you.
Right. And then on top of that, and shout out to you, Shara. He says, hey, we just need a new voice. Sometimes you just probably it can work out.
When we talk about, listen, look, Law. Remember Tony Dungy? All them years he was playing, all them years he was coaching, and what was he doing? Had good teams. We just couldn't get over the hump. Now I ain't saying no John Gruden is the master, but when he came in, they came in with a new voice. He took that team to the Super Bowl. Because he took that talent and he took that team to the Super Bowl. And heck, he got these Raiders playing good. They just beat the Bears.
They just
beat
what
I'm saying?
And then
they just beat them.
Yeah. And then it's transparent as it relates to, or you can cross-reference it over to basketball. You think the Golden State Warriors, they had the same roster, same lineup, just had a new coach to come in there, and they went off on 3 or 4.
Yes, Mark Jackson built that team. They left. Steve Kerr comes in and gets championships.
You could talk about Toronto too. Same situation.
Well, they have. They lose their coach. Next year they're in the finals. They win.
It's written all over the faces of the world, so how to do this thing. But I'm not saying that we can't win the Super Bowl this year, Cowboy Nation. It's still a chance. It's still a possibility. We're not mathematically eliminated from the playoff. We are 3-2. I got to keep in mind. I want everybody to keep in mind we do have 2 divisional wins on our title, right? Well, 2 divisional wins under our record right now. And we play against the Jets, and then we play against those Philadelphia Eagles. I just can't say that name straightly without saying filthy because I believe that's where they're from, right? Oh, I'm sorry, Philadelphia, right? I just got to throw that out there, Cowboy Nation. But here's the thing. When we start talking about schemes and schematics, I believe that Jason Garrett mantra, his philosophy is we do what we do best. Meaning that I'm not going to take a lot of time in looking at the Green Bay Packers film because I believe if we do what we do best, if we execute, if we play and jump to the ball, we will win this game. But in reality, life doesn't work that way. Not on this level. No. No.
And like I said, it's just been a recurring theme under his squads. Now, like I said, Dak has a career year, a career day. I mean, we ain't even talking about Amari Cooper's day. Like, he had a nasty day.
Ooh,
but
11 receptions,
11 receptions, over 200 yards. Michael Gallup had over 100. I mean, statistically, and Zeke could have ran for 200. If the game would have went the way we wanted it to go, Zeke would have ran all over that defense.
He would have, yeah.
Because that front, we talked about it last week, Law, on Cowboys Experience. That front was not that good. And 12 carries, 65 yards. You get what I'm saying? But we had to go away from Ezekiel Elliott because you're down 17-0. You can't just keep feeding Zeke all the time. Now that clock is your enemy. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So now you can't run the ball as much as you want. So that's what hurt us as well. But Zeke would have killed that defense. Zeke would have ran all over that defense. They had nobody to stop him. Every time he got the ball up the middle, there was gashes and holes. So you get what I'm saying?
So let me ask you this. How do you feel about Ezekiel Elliott overall for these 5 games? How do you feel about him, though?
I mean, I still think Zeke is a dog. Zeke is still a beast. I feel like he doesn't have that explosiveness that he had in 2016 when he first came in the league, but he's still a daggone good back. But I just feel like we try to use him in the passing game a little too much, and I just don't think he really offers like a Le'Veon Bell or some of these other running backs offer in the passing game. I think he's just that dog bell cow running back, and I think that's why you got a Tony Pollard. Now, I know he's a little banged up, but that's a guy that you want to use as far as your speed routes, as far as your option routes. That's the guy when you want to split out wide he's in the backfield. That's the guy you want to do because I feel like he's offers more get off and he played the receiver position. I think, I don't have anything bad to say about Zeke, but I just feel like sometimes we force feed him because that's Ezekiel Elliott. He just signed a big contract. You get what I'm saying? You can still keep it in the ebb and flow and still get Ezekiel Elliott his carries. And there's nothing wrong with us throwing the ball with that. People were complaining that we had to throw 44 times. I get it. But at the end of the day, I mean, you're talking about this is your franchise quarterback. Were we supposed to say handcuffed? I mean, is he supposed to just only throw for 230 yards a game if this is your franchise? You get what I'm saying? Because if you look at these other quarterbacks, Law, when the teams get down, they say bump it. We throwing the ball. But everybody complains when Dak Prescott has to do it. You get what I'm saying? So that's my confusion because it's not like Dak played a terrible game. Yes, those interceptions killed us, but Amari Cooper, third one, pass interference.
Yeah.
That second one was
here's the thing. I got to break this one down, Cowboy Nation. And we talk about the rain and the storms and stuff like that in life and the reality of it when it's raining and storming. Nobody is talking about, hey, this is going to help the earth a little bit. The grass is going to grow, Yeah, I love all of this rain. No, a lot of people are like, dog, it's raining today. I can't wear my fresh outfit or I can't drive to work comfortably. But the reality of it is after all of this rain, we should see some growth. And I'm thinking that this team grew from these past 2 games. They grew. They learned something from it. I don't know what it is. I don't know what seed is growing out of it, but hopefully they did. So I would have to talk about this pass interference. At the top of the route, normally, if the NFL refs are calling it, like I said last week, at the top of the route, Amari Cooper pushes off to get separation because Marshawn Lattimore was still engaged and he was still having his hands on him. Now, if they're going to call it across the board, they should call it across the board. So I'm thinking that these officials at the top of that last interception by Kevin King. What's his name? Kevin King, right?
Yeah, Kevin King.
He was very physical. He was a very all in the face, slapping the helmet. And we didn't have any challenges. But I think that in a natural football game, the quarterback normally always throw the ball that way anyway because it brings attention that the opposition is being physical.
He's thinking that he's going to get the pass interference.
Get the PI. That was clearly PI because if the ball was way beyond 5 yards, he was still engaged. And then on top of that, he was engaged before. So either it should have been a holding or it should have been a PI. But what my problem is with the NFL is that they just not consistent on their calls. And to me personally, I don't like the ruling when you win a challenge, you still lose the ability to challenge. I think that you should be granted and honored the possibility to continue to challenge because you ultimately won that challenge. And it's crazy for me to look back at this game and we can see the inconsistencies as it relates to the NFL officials. We just want to watch football. We're not trying to play the political game, the politic game of the officials having more weight on a game, and we just trying to enjoy the game. If that make any sense, Big Game James.
It makes total sense. You don't want basically put the hands in you don't want to put the game in the hands of the ref.
Right.
Because that's just not good. And like I said, nobody's crying about it. I coach football, but I've coached games, Law. I've coached games, Law, where it's been big games, and these refs have made some terrible calls.
The MVP goes to the ref. Yeah.
I've coached games where we had games where they were game changers, where we're beating them and they call a pass interference and it's at the spot of the foul and then they score a touchdown and we lose. Oh, that has happened to me. And you don't want to sit there and say this game was – but you're looking at that ref like, man, for real?
For real?
Like, seriously? So, yes, that can change the outcome of the game, and it's crazy. But you know what? At the end of the day, I mean, we got to push through. And like you said, maybe this can be a learning experience for the team. 2 tough games.
Yeah.
Even at the end, we still fought back. So you still got to give us credit for, not just laying it down when it was 31-3. They could have just laid it down and packed it in and said, we just getting our butts beat. But the Cowboys fought all the way back. So I got to give them props. And I will give them props for Jason. They always fight for Jason Garrett.
Yeah.
And honestly, I can see us beating the Eagles because that's what we do. When the Cowboys backs are against the wall, it seems like we play better. It seems like when everybody's saying Dallas is going to be great and good,
right,
fall short. But when all of a sudden, when nobody's talking about us and everybody's hating on us and say you're going to get smashed, that's when we come in and smack the Eagles and out of nowhere. That's just what happens with Jason Garrett. Like, it's almost like clockwork.
This is just what it is, just like clockwork, man. Any shout-outs you want to give out right quick, a Big Game?
Let me give a few shout-outs that have been commenting. Sarah Sean, who Eric, Michael Lafferty, what's going on? I don't. Sometimes I mess up on these names, so please apologize. Don't beat me up. I'm sorry. Jerry Maltezo, KC Stay High. Okay. What's up with you? How you doing? We had KG Gist was in here. Paul Boyce, how you doing? My feed kind of went out, so there was a lot more people commenting with names, so I apologize if I didn't get every names, but keep on commenting. Bring, some thoughts and comments what we're talking about. But, we were talking about the defense and, so what do you think that's going to be? Is that going to be all year, Law, with this? I mean, come on, man. We know Ron Marinelli is kind of still running this defense, it seems like. What's going on? What's going on with Jordan Lewis? I mean, why is Jordan Lewis not playing, Law Nation?
Yes. Here's the thing. I think the teams are now scouting against AB. This is like 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh, man! Yeah. Like what? I don't even mean to cut you off, no. And I'm not even trying to hate on AB, but dog, it's the same thing every year. You can't turn your head. Now maybe Chris Richard just preaches length, but man, you even getting beat on the. I mean, dog, it's been no change in all these years.
Yeah, and the problem is getting your head around to the ball. I do see that a lot of times in defensive back play, you want to recover, especially when you're beaten. But that PI call that was face guarding, what have you, if all he could have done was just turned his head, and a lot of DB coaches says where your head goes, your body will follow, basically. And when the receiver was reaching out to the ball and it was low, I'm thinking that Aaron Rodgers probably went to the offensive coordinator and said, hey, you know what? this guy number 30, we can get him. He don't turn his head around.
He
to the
is.
ball.
He's smart like that.
I can just do my 3-step drop and pass it to his proximity, and he will not turn around, and we can get this PI. You see, and it was low. It was right there. It would have hit him in the belly. All he had to do is turn his head around. And my thing is, the playmakers that we have on this team are very minute. It's very difficult for me to say that my guy Cheeto Awuzie is a playmaker. It's very difficult for me to say that Byram Jones, who's doing a great job this year, is a playmaker. It's hard for me to say that when they have not done that in college, you see. So
they haven't done it in the pros.
They haven't done it in the pros as well. So I'm hoping that one way or another, we look back at everything and give the young kid a chance named Donovan Wilson, because we were able to see him make some type of plays in preseason. And I do know that it's only preseason. But to make a play on the ball the way he was doing in preseason, that thing can translate from preseason. I don't care if it was middle school, high school, around in Walmart parking lot, or even at the Star in Frisco. If you can make plays in those factors, you're a playmaker. Yeah. So I'm thinking that just AB naturally is not a playmaker. I know for sure that Jordan Lewis is one.
Yes,
it is.
We all do.
Yeah.
and I'm not understanding when y'all talk about Jason Garrett and Chris Richard that he's an exception to the rule. Y'all keep telling me he's an exception to the rule, but you don't play him.
Right.
Okay. And I don't understand it. I'm not going to understand it. Jordan Lewis is better than Anthony Brown, and I'm not distant Anthony Brown, but Jordan Lewis needs to get on the field. I mean, the dude is a good player, and he gets minimal snaps. I mean, the guy is a playmaker, and you want to put your best playmakers on the field. This is a guy that if you throw it in his proximity and he's guarding the player, he turns his head because he's a playmaker. He's looking to make a play on the ball. He played on the offensive side of the ball even when he was in high school, and I followed his career.
Right.
When he's coming out from high school to college, he played a lot on the opposite side of the ball. And even when he played defenders, you could even call him hip pocket Lewis, because he's always in your hip and he's always looking to turn his head to make a play, either knocking the ball down or getting an interception. I mean, and it's just kind of maddening because, as you said, the only other playmaker I would see would be the Xavier Woods, and he's still, sometime as far as it goes. So the Cowboys really just kind of really need to tighten it up. Please don't look past these Jets. I ain't saying these Jets is good. We know they're 0-4, but please don't look past them, because Sam Darnold going into New York, they're going to be going crazy, because guess what? We get everybody's best game. Period. Facts.
And that's with capitalization on all of those ladders within that. And we get everybody's good game. And then on top of that is on the road, things changes when you're on the road. And then on top of that, you got to play against the crowd noises up there.
Yes, they're going to be going crazy, Law.
Yeah. And then you always live up to play the Cowboys, right? You try to. They said, "Hey, we're going to be on TV. We're going to get the max amount of replays all over ESPN and NFL Network and beyond. We're going to play to our best level." So, and then on top of that, I know that Le'Veon Bell is looking at Aaron Jones and sitting there like, "Hey, he put up this amount of production." Shoot.
Aaron Jones?
Aaron who?
Aaron Jones? You feel me? We singing the Mike Jones. Mike Jones, who? Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones, I'm sorry, I'm not disrespecting you, dog, but they said he had a combined total of 40 yards in the last 2 games prior before even playing us. Then he comes in against us and did something. Aaron Jones, okay?
Right.
Aaron Jones did something that nobody in the history against the Cowboys ever ran for 4 touchdowns against us. That just, it's sickening to my stomach.
Yeah.
And you know what else frustrates me? We get guys that nobody hears about have career years against us. Yeah. That's
the C.J. Andersons of the world.
We get guys who you never heard of get career years on us, and that's just the frustrating part. We just got to tighten it up, Law.
Right.
You know, we said it before. This is a no excuse year. I don't want to hear the excuses. I don't want to hear this, and I don't want to hear that. We got to tighten up the ship. We got to go into New York, and we got to smack them, even though I'm not going to be jumping up and down about the victory. It's going to be a victory if we get that. But we need to tighten it up. And even if we were to beat the Eagles and these other teams, Law, I told you at the beginning of the year, it's playoffs about me and Garrett. It's playoffs because we've seen that he's won in the regular season. We've seen him get NFC East titles. But what we haven't seen is playoff wins and big playoff wins. And I'm not trying to look that far ahead. It's one game at a time. But that's what my judgment really is now. I feel like you can get this team because this team has too much talent, Law, for us not to be missing the playoffs, for us not to be making the playoffs. So like I said, it's really just tightening up the ship, man.
Mm-hmm.
Stop the excuses. I like Kellen Moore. I think he's done a good job with play calling. But you know what? Run that Marinelli back up a little bit and let Chris Richard run this defense a little bit because, dog, it seems like good teams scheme the hell out of us, man, and just really catch us on our weaknesses and really exploit us.
Yes, indeed. So this probably be Rob Marinelli's last year, and I'm not.
It has to be. It has to be.
It has to be.
But come on, it has to be.
Yeah, and then on top of that, for anybody who can look at it, like I said, I don't know if I said it live here, but it's kind of like this, Cowboy Nation. Chris Richard, yes, he in control of some capacity of this defense, but it's like, hey, here's the keys to the car. You better not go over 65 miles per hour, and you better have this baby clean and ready for me by 11 o'clock. Here's the keys. It's yours. And you notice when you drive somebody else's car, you baby it. You see,
you're cautious.
You're cautious. You know, you
don't go
all
out.
Yeah.
You don't go hard. You don't speed. You know what I'm saying? You take extra care because you know if something goes wrong, who are you gonna hear from?
Right. And it's
easier. That's a great analogy that you just brought, Locke, because I feel exactly what your analogy is. That you're coaching a defense, and I'm letting you have a voice. But guess what? Don't be getting out of control with it. Don't be sending all these blitzes because I don't want them hitting us with the big play. So chill back on the blitzes and let's go cover and let's just let our linebackers get at them. Man, come on, dog.
You gotta give them
we can't just be relying on that talent all the time. Sometimes we got to scheme because, as I said before, when teams come in and have played us, have you listened to the coaches that have come in and played us, how cocky they are?
Oh, yeah.
In their press conferences, how cocky they are that we feel like we can do what we want against that team. They have talent. Yeah. And no team denies that we have talent. But they always say, but we can beat them because we feel confident in what we're going to do in this game plan. I've heard in press conferences, and it gets me mad when I hear coaches talk like that about us because I get pissed. I want to yell at them because I'm like, coaches really have that bravado and they feel like that they can just come and out scheme us and just beat us even though with talent.
Yes,
I mean,
indeed.
That's kind of disrespectful.
Yes, and then as Big Game James is saying and lamenting to everybody, we have a right, Cowboy Nation, to be angry. We have a right to be upset. We have a right to call out coaches, and I don't want to hear anybody saying that, hey, this is you are just a bandwagon guy and these sorts of things. Because in reality, in life, you see, Jerry Jones bought this team financially, right? Big Game James, you was following this team before you knew who Jerry Jones was. You was rooting for this Cowboys team before you even knew who Jerry Jones was, right?
For sure.
So collectively, we bought into this team emotionally, you see. So we have a right to be angry, upset, and really call for the heads of the head coaches or call for the heads of the owners, call for the heads of the Dak Prescott or the running back or what we don't like to see out there from our product that we bought in emotionally. So I don't want to hear people saying that, oh, man, come on, you just a fickle bandwagon fan. No. If you look at the totality of everything collectively, this team is just as ours as it relates to his by him owning the team financially, you see. So, and then on top of that, one can argue these tickets are not cheap. So, because when you look at it, well, it's very affordable if you go to CowboysExperience.com.
Yes, very affordable.
Very affordable.
That's another plug right there. They, if you ain't got that Cowboys Experience, you're gonna pay some money.
You're gonna pay some money, but we're
gonna pay some money.
It's affordable with us, but if you look at the total picture of everything, Cowboy Nation, we want to see good product out there for the things that we buy. And we want to have a good feeling. We want to walk around with our chest out, with our head hanging high, and we want to be able to say, how about them Cowboys? We don't want to see the product like it was out there for the first quarters and the second quarter for the Packers game. Because all I can think of is when we play these other teams and we still seeing the same thing that we saw week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, we have a problem, you say. So that's all I have to say on that topic, Cowboy Nation.
Well, as I said before, Cowboys need to tighten it up. That's the word of the day for me.
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys need to tighten it up because you know what? We're getting ready to go to New York. It's going to be a hostile environment. They're going to be going nuts. They're going to be going crazy. And I don't think it's a coincidence that Sam Darnold is playing this game. I don't think it's a coincidence at all. I think that he was making sure that he was going to get better so he could play against these Cowboys. So he could get up there. You know what? They're probably going crazy. Like, oh, we got these Cowboys this week. They coming in our dog. They're going and check it out. Look at the Jets defense. They're like 6th rated in the rush defense. They're only allowing 86 yards per game on the ground. Now they are getting killed in the air. Teams are averaging like 260 yards against them, but it's mainly because they can't run against them. And Sam Darnold only played one game, and the team barely lost to the Buffalo Bills, who are in 2nd place and look pretty good this year with Josh Allen back there. Now you had a quarterback in Falk or whatever his heck name was. He was garbage. He wasn't good. That's why you saw the Eagles get 10 sacks against him. It wasn't because the Eagles defense was just killing them up front. It was because he's just not a good quarterback and he wasn't reading the defenses correctly and he can't throw that ball to where it needs to go. And thus you see the sacks. But at the end of the day, please, let's not be fooled. We need to go in there and play our A game. We need to go in there and not with this chip on the shoulder like, oh, we're the hot boys. Oh, we're the purge squad. You know what I mean? We need to stop talking about all that hot boy stuff and let's just play football.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Yes, I don't want to hear hats being made with hot boys, sweatshirts being made with hot boys, bandanas with hot boys, this hot boys, that. If you're going to name that name, you got to play to that. And like I said, when you heard about the Steelers steel curtain, that wasn't really the Steelers that gave it to them. That was the people.
The people in the play on the field,
You feel me? The people gave that name Doomsday Defense. The people gave that the steel curtain. The people. They didn't just name themselves that. The people did because they saw your defense is that good. We calling you the steel curtain. Dallas, your defense is that good. Y'all Doomsday. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is a self-made name. So if it's a self-made name, every day you have to live up to that self-made name. Right. And when you don't live up to it, people are going to call you out on it. So my thing is stop talking to hot boys and let's just play some damn football.
Yes, indeed. And that's
my language, Barry.
But that's some real fire right there. And I believe the nation need to hear that because when I turned on the TV the other day, and I was kind of livid and hot about the Hot Boys name because that's the name that we called ourselves last year, right? And I said, okay, we need to own up to that name. And I turned on the TV yesterday, and I saw
Niners.
the 49ers. And anybody that knows me personally, there's one team that I cannot stand outside of the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles are those 49ers fans. This rivalry goes all the way back beyond the time that when Deion Sanders, I call him Neon Dion.
Way
Pass
back.
Interference, Michael Irvin. I still can't let that
80s.
go.
80s.
You go all the way to the 80s. When
I'm going to the 80s because it's deep.
Roger
I'm
Craig
taking to the 80s.
Boys, huh?
You feel me? Roger Craig, Dwight Clark, Freddie Solomon, John Taylor. You know what I'm saying? All them guys. I remember Montana and all them dudes. Dog, I remember all them battles. And plus, I can't stand the Niners. And just like you said, they over there copying hot boys, man.
But they deserve
but they running with it though.
They walked out there with Cowboy Nation with hot boys shirts on. And they said, hey, we're going to shut it down. We the hot boys. The 49ers, they did that. So that's their name. They holding truth to what their name exemplifies and exhibits out there. Because what their record is, Big Game James.
It's 4-0. But look who they played, though, Law. Look who they played, though, Law. They played the Clowns, the Bungles, and the Squealers. And the Buccaneers. I ain't giving them no love, dog. I ain't giving them no love. I ain't giving no whiners, no Niners, no love. Them fraudulent
Niners. But this is the thing. We can't complain about nothing. You see what I'm saying? We got to show the world that if we
got to show the world. Stop saying the names. Let's do it.
Hey, hold on. Before the Purge Squad and before the Hot Boys, can we just be the Cowboys?
Right. Can we just be the Cowboys D and shut people down? That's the only thing we need to worry about right now. Shutting down the Jets and Le'Veon Bell. Don't worry about screaming hot boys and making hot boy coolers and getting hot boy drinks. I don't know nobody talking about that no more, dog. We just got to play football right now. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, this is critical because the Eagles are sitting there right over there like, guess what? Y'all 3-2 now. We right back in this. We right back in the race, and we see you in 2 weeks. And you know the Eagles are getting up against us. They keep our names in their mouth all day, so they're waiting to play us. So we have to bring our A game every single week because every team that plays us, we get their best, no matter who it is. It could be the worst team in the league. We're going to get their best game. They may play the next game against another team and play like trash. But when they play us, they're going to play their best. And the Cowboys need to understand that. So at no time can they ever get comfortable with where they're at or listen to any press clippings or read what the news is saying about the team and how talented and how this could be the team. Throw all that out the window, act like you ain't even no good, and let's scrap and get these dubs because at the end of the day, dog, everybody's gunning for us right now.
Yes, indeed. So that's a good transition over to the bold predictions and also the keys to the game. And also, I'm going to throw this out there. Quick question. Will we play down to the level of competition?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Law.
Talk to me. Talk to me. Give me some hope.
I'm just be straight up with you, and I don't want to feel this way. Like, I don't want to feel this way. It's just what I feel. I can only tell my real heart.
Yes.
I don't know what team is going to show up. And I hate that feeling. I hate that feeling that I don't know which team is going to show up. In my heart, I say this is the team that should, but I don't know because we are so unpredictable. We're still consistently inconsistent. If I can say that word.
That's good. Consistently inconsistent. Yeah.
We are consistently inconsistent. And that's the thing. 1 minute I'm thinking this is what we're going to do. We don't. And then when I don't think we're going to do it, we do. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So I'm just praying that my team goes in there and handles its business like it's supposed to. But as I said before, I've seen us play down to the competition, the level of our competition, going away on games, and this should be a blowout, and then we struggle.
Well, we win this game if.
We win this game if Ezekiel Elliott runs that daggone ball this game. Ezekiel Elliott needs to run it. I think Ezekiel Elliott needs to really get in the groove. I think we really need to. And the Jets have a really good run defense, but I still think we need to get Ezekiel Elliott involved in this game heavily. Still don't be predictable, force feeding him on first down and things of that nature. I didn't have no problem when we came out Green Bay throwing on first down. I have no problem with that because you saw how quick we went down the field. My thing is, let's play reckless abandon. If you don't play close to the vest, don't play conservative, don't go in there, hey, man, this the Jets, then we know we can beat them, but it's going to be hostile. Let's just get out here with a dub. No, let's go in there. Every single game, we need to have the mindset of aggressive. We need to tackle on the offense and the defensive side of the ball. So the Cowboys win if we are aggressive.
Yes, indeed. You want to start off with the bold prediction or,
Ooh, I'm going to start off because you started off last time. I need a good bold prediction since this is the Jets, but I'm not going to slight on them. Let me go on the offensive side of the ball and say Ezekiel Elliott says, I'm mad. I want to eat. I'm doing some of this today, and I'm going to get 185 yards rushing on 25 carries, 185 yards rushing, and 2 touchdowns. Ezekiel Elliott comes in mad. The offensive line backs up. Tyron Smith is supposedly be back. We're going to be mad, and that's my bold prediction. Ezekiel Elliott says, I'm fed up. I'm done. Y'all ain't talking about me being one of the best backs in the league. I just got paid my money, and I'm going for $185 in this game and 2 touchdowns.
Wow. Against the number 6 overall and against the rush defense.
Against the number 6 overall rush defense, and that's going to make it even better because they do have a nice little front up there at the Jets, Leonard Williams. They got some guys up there. So, yeah, that's a bold prediction for me. What about you?
And let me contextualize it real quick. I think that we like when Ezekiel Elliott is like less than 75 yards, I think he's like 1-9, or the team is like 1-9 or 1-8 or something like that. And then when he have over 24 or 25 carries, the team is like 25-3 or 26-3, something like that. Somebody can put the real numbers out there. My thing is this game. My bold prediction will be no pass interference on both sides of the ball. Look, can we just get a game? Can we just get a game on both sides of the ball? PI, just take PI out. You know what I mean? So on both sides of the game.
How about no holding calls?
No holding calls. Well, oh my goodness. Hey, can I just say this? Can I rewind just a few seconds, Cowboy Nation, if you guys don't mind? You got to go anywhere, big game, James?
I ain't got nowhere.
You got to go.
I'm off today.
Oh, you off? Okay, so we can go a little bit over time. Can I just say that my guy, Cobra, 58, Robert Quinn, this guy that he was playing against last week, number 69. He had no answers for him. He was holding him like he was
choking. He was choking his throat. How many times?
Hey, literally, if the officials were to call the game, like really call the game, it would have been like 8 holding calls on number 69. He had no answer. It was no answer at all. Every time. If you guys go back and look at the film, I cannot lie to kick it. Just go back and watch the tape. You will see that number 69, for crying out loud, he thought that he was a cape. He thought that he can just, if I can just put my arm around Robert Quinn, maybe, just maybe I can slow him down, because if not, man, Aaron Rodgers would have been rushed to the hospital. I cannot lie to kick it. And you guys just look at the film. That guy was being held the entire time, number 58. So I just wish that the Cowboys finally get an official that kind of quasi in the middle like them, because as of lately, the last 2 games, it's just been the Dallas Cowboys. Really, the last 3 or 4 games, it's been the Dallas Cowboys versus the officials. All right, so my bold prediction would be no PI calls on both sides of the ball. They let the guys just play.
That's super bold.
That's super bold. And my guy, Rain Dakota Prescott, throws a perfect game as it relates to QBR, north of 125.8 or something, what have you. I know it's 153 or something like that. It's a perfect QBR, but 3 touchdowns, no drops.
Well, that's another bold one.
No drops. I'm just asking for too much, Cowboy Nation. But
no drops, no PIs, no.
PIs.
Oh yeah. I think you in fantasy land, but I'll be with you.
Yes, no PIs, no drops, 3 touchdowns and 320 yards.
Hey, and Dak is people say what they want, but Dak is like top 5 in passing, touchdowns. I mean, he's having a good season. I mean, people can, say what they want, but it hasn't really been a lot we can put on Dak's feet in my eyes. And now, like I said, we can't have the interceptions like you had the last game, but
true.
I feel like, I feel like, Dak has done good. I mean, even the offensive line, I mean, we had an influx, this last game, but I think, like I said, the rookie Brandon Knight, man, does he going to cause some controversy if he plays good? I don't know if La'el Collins. I don't want to say La'el Collins sit, but if he's not all the way healthy, I wouldn't mind to see a Brandon Knight again, because he looked admirably, and that's just going to give another offensive lineman more experience, because Cam Finley is a train wreck at the left tackle. And I went back and looked at his background law. He was strictly a right tackle at Stanford.
Oh wow, strictly
a right tackle. And he was a right tackle even at New England, but he played left when Nate Solder, I believe, went out. They played him at left. But I don't think his transition is good, and we're playing him really, really out of position at the left tackle because we don't have anybody playing. We're, flexing him. But, man, he is just not good at the left tackle position at all. And it's just scary to think that, we're going to have to really look in that draft, and I'm not even trying to look ahead, and I'm not saying somebody replace Tyron Smith, but you still can have a good quality backup to Tyron Smith at the left tackle, and they need to focus on that in the draft, because our team seems to go in the tank when Tyron Smith goes down. You get what I'm saying? And that cannot continually happen, and they're going to have to get a solid backup at that left tackle position, and they're going to have to address that immediately, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, let me just say this right quick. Our second best left tackle is playing left guard.
Yes,
and he played left tackle in college. You follow
Connor Williams, yes.
And he's not.
I don't know why they don't do it.
He's not the strongest dude, but you see,
but he's a good left tackle.
He's redirect.
He's athletic.
His hips are good. He's athletic, like you said. He can pull off of that side too. I'm thinking like, why you just messing up that situation? Look,
and you saw they tried to put him at right tackle in practice, and they kept him there one day because he's not a right tackle. He's a left tackle. He's a left tackle. And like you said, there's nothing wrong, because this is what happened in Law. See, they draft these guys, and it's the draft status. It's the draft status, Law, and you know it. You know it.
I know
it's the draft status that's keeping them in these certain positions. Because common sense would say, just like you said, Law, he's a left tackle. So if Tyron Smith goes out, you kick Connor Williams out. But because he's a second-round pick, he can't be that backup. Right. So he has to start. So they have to put him at left guard. You feel what I'm saying, dog?
Yeah.
I mean, you feel what I'm saying, Law? Because you got right tackle right there. And I know it's only one game, but Brandon Knight. But you see just the influx of guys that you really could move. And if Connor Williams wasn't hurt, I mean, You could have him at the guard and have him and Connor Williams a left tackle, but they don't want to put him behind Tyron Smith because he's a second-round pick. And everybody's going to say, oh, that's a bust. He should be starting.
Yeah, and in anything, Cowboy Nation, if I want to protect my young quarterback, I would try to protect him at best at his left side, at his blind side. In a perfect world, I would put well, of course, Lyle Collins, he's injured right now, but I would put the Connor Williams at left tackle, kick Joe Looney in as left guard, and then have Travis Frederick as the center and Zach Martin as the right guard, and then have your guy Knight at the right tackle. And we'll roll out there with that, but we don't know football. We don't know it. You see, we just call it.
We just talking about it.
We just talking about it.
Yeah, we just talking.
Yeah. So shout out to you, Yolanda. Shout out to you, Jerry. Thank you for tuning in, and Rich Porter, Jason. Thank you all for tuning in. So that was our bold prediction. What's the score prediction? Is big game, James?
I think this game is going to be. I think we'll pull away at the end, but I think this is going to be a tight game. I really do. I think the Jets are going to play tough. I think that crowd is going to be raucous. I think they're just going to play us really hard that game. I think Sam Darnold, for some reason, I feel like Sam Darnold is going to have a good game. I don't even want to feel that way, but I just feel like he is, dog. It's just set up to happen that way. I don't even want to think it. No plan, mononucleosis, mono, then you come in, I just feel it. So right. I think it's going to be one of those tough games. But I think we pull away at the end. I think we get 28 points. So I'm going to say 28-17, but it's a close one going like in that third quarter, and then we'll pull away in that midway to the third to the fourth quarter. But I feel like the Jets are going to play us really tough. So I'm going to go 28-17 Cowboys.
Yes, indeed. I've been greedy all year. That's a good score, 28-17, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's 28-17. All right, so all year I've been predicting 28 for our scores to be around in that part of the land.
Mm-hmm.
This year I'm going this game. I'm going to moonwalk like Michael Jackson. I'm going to backpedal. Yes, and Shimon with it.
Shimon.
This is what I'm going to do, Cowboy Nation. I'm going to lower my expectations for the nation. 17-13. We find a way to win this game.
I can see that too.
17-13, and it's going to be a grittish, grimish type of game.
Mm-hmm.
I do know I had my bold prediction of Dak Prescott throwing 3 touchdowns, and you know that mathematically 3 touchdowns is more than 17 points for crying out loud. But what I'm saying is, for the actual score prediction, Dallas Cowboys win 17-13. That's what I have. And you guys put your score prediction down now.
Throw your score predictions.
Don't wait till after the game.
Give us some of your bold predictions right quick. We'll see what you guys are saying, and let's get some of your score predictions from you guys. So please jump in. We've been seeing a lot of comments. Sorry if we haven't got to everybody's comments, but here's your time to comment now. Throw out what you think will be a score prediction for you and a bold prediction for this game. But as I said before, Law, I think this is going to be one of those, like you said, a gritty game. This is going to be a gritty, grimy game. I feel like I just had this feeling that the Jets are going to be on 1,000 against us, especially. I feel like it'd be a different story if they were coming into Dallas. I feel like we would stomp them if they came into Dallas. But I feel like that edge in New York, you know how New York get up for Dallas Cowboys. That edge for New York, we haven't been to New York, especially for to play the Jets in a long time. And just as you said, we have to keep our eyes on Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
He hasn't had a breakout game. Please let's not let him be our breakout game. He hasn't had a game where he hasn't really got on track. Please, Cowboys defense, let not Le'Veon Bell have a good game this game. He hasn't got on track. Can we not let him? Because as I said before, Law, and I'm not wishing this, but these are the type of games we've seen, Law.
Right.
Has this not been true? These are the type of games we have seen. We play an 0-4 opponent, AFC. We're supposed to whoop them. They play good, and then you have a guy who wouldn't think of just kill us.
Right.
Darnold, a Bell, or something like that, who haven't done nothing all year.
Right.
They go off against us. You can't tell me you haven't seen that with us.
Oh, man, we've seen it, and it's been going on for over 10 years now. So this is a prove me game from Jason Garrett. I just have to say it. You got to not play down to the level of competition. We got to see something. And the reason why we collectively is mad or mad all the way at the coaching staff, It's because we've seen this before Dak Prescott ever thought about playing for the Dallas Cowboys.
Seen this with Romo.
We've seen it a little bit before Tony Romo made it all the way as a starter. So it's the common denominator. You can look at Jerry Jones, and then you can look at his reinforcements as it relates to Jason Garrett. So we get tired. We get tired and fed up every time we turn on the TV. They talking about our silver and blue in a bad way.
We get tired of it.
We get tired of it collectively. The players might say, well, we don't watch the TV. We not paying attention to the press conferences. Come on. And they might say it, but when those current and those former players start talking about it, they listen then. So unfortunately, they must be listening to something.
Yeah, they listen to it. You heard them. You just like you said, Law. You heard them old school players. They would say they listened to it. They said they heard the people. They said they read the papers. It'd be hard for you not to. Let's keep it real. They're human beings. They ain't robots. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
You act like you don't hear none of the noise. Yeah, you hear some of the noise. You just maybe tune it out, but you dang sure hear the noise, and you dang sure read the noise, and you dang sure read the clippings from what everybody else is saying. So don't say you don't. But let me give you a few people out here that threw out some score predictions.
Yes.
On here, Terry Turner gives 31-7 Cowboys. Rich Porter gives 28-13. Dak always has big games against these type defenses. I hear you. Andre Analok, 28-14. Shout out to you, Andre. Hag, the Barber, Antoine, I believe. Dallas Cowboys, 28-13. So a lot of people kind of feeling that 28-point barrier, thinking that we can score. But as I said before, I feel like it'll be that 28-17, but we pull away at the end. Maybe we get a quick touchdown early. But then the dogfight starts. You know what I'm saying? Because that I feel like that New York D is going to, especially that front line is going to be stingy. So we're going to have to make really good critical plays. I hope Tony Pollard is going to be well because I really feel like we need some Tony Pollard in that game to kind of keep that defense honest because they're going to kind of, I feel like, maybe load that box and say, you know what, we're not going to let Ezekiel Elliott beat us. Dak, do your thing.
Yes, indeed, Cowboy Nation. I really appreciate you all. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to support this channel and support this thing. All you got to do is go to cowboysexperience.com, or you can just utilize the Cowboys hashtag, CowboysXP, and you should see our feeds like throughout the world because we're on Twitter. We're also on Instagram. Please follow us on Instagram. DM us. That's the best way to communicate to us, especially on Instagram if you use that platform. Also, if you're on the YouTube, just go to cowboysexperience.com, and then you can find the YouTube links on that website to see more of our stuff like Cowboys Media Row, Big Game James, Silver and Blue Nation. We got a guy that talks to a voodoo doll, Mark Holmes, you see. We got it all, DDP. He's like, if you love articles and reading into the stats of things, check out his website, man. There's good stuff all around.
He got them stats for you. He got them stats for you.
Stats, man, that put you in a calm demeanor, you see. Anything else you want to show to the world, Big Game James, about this? We can go to this commercial break.
Not too much, man. Just let's go Cowboys and let's get this dub and let's get back on track and get 4-2, baby.
Yeah, let's listen in to Jalen.
Hi, I'm Jalen Smith, linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm here with Cowboys Experience, enjoying my time. Happy to be here. We got a lot of fans out. Let's give it. All right. Hey, go Cowboys. Clear eye view.
This is Zach Martin. Welcome to the Cowboys Experience.
Hey, I'm Michael Gallup of the Dallas Cowboys, wide receiver. Welcome to the Cowboys Experience. Come see me this fall.
Fans, this is Jeff Heath. Just want to welcome you guys to the Cowboys Experience. Hope you have a good time.
How you doing? Lyle Collins of the Dallas Cowboys. Welcome to Cowboys Experience.
All right, Cowboy Nation, I really appreciate you all. That's been all the time that we have for today. Big Game James, tell them where to follow you again.
Hey, check us out, Silver and Blue Nation. You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. You can check out Big Game James. I'm mostly on Facebook because I don't got my personal page like on the YouTube. But like I said, we do our shows on Silver and Blue Nation. Probably going to be doing one later tonight, maybe. So just like I said, keep in tune. We try to keep it real, try to keep it honest. And we love all the support and we love all the fans. And we even love the haters and the trolls. Yeah. So y'all can jump on there too as long as you respect it.
Yes, indeed. And don't forget, guys, share. We got to get it up beyond 100 shares. So let's at least share this thing and hit us up. Call the number. Get your ticket pricings. And remember, you all are listening in to nothing but the best. Salute.
Peace.
We're out.